computer. I've never done this before, so this is all new for me. Okay, so I do have a bunch of different kinds of, I have some club sports here. I have some musical theater and things like that. So if at any time you have any questions, or if I say something and you're unsure of it, just let me know, and we'll stop and we'll address it right away. Or if you want to wait till the end, it's up to you. But at any time, feel free to stop me and ask a question, okay? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. This always throws me off a little bit. Okay, so can you all see my PowerPoint presentation? You can just nod your heads. Okay. All right. We are, of course, the Student Activity Association. If you were here on campus, you would find us in the top floor of the University Center in room 223. The building is currently closed right now, so nobody has access, but we are here Monday through Friday from 8:30 until, or from 8 until 4:30. So if you ever need to call us about anything, you can call during those business hours. Of course, you can email us at any time as well, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, okay? I just want to introduce Marian Ranton. She is the SGA Finance Chair. She's the person who leads the Finance Committee as far as approving, going through the budget approval process, if you're making changes to your budget, you know, and things like that. That being said, your budgets are currently frozen, but I just wanted to get her name out there and show you what she looked like, so that hopefully in the spring, we'll be able to see her in person and talk about budgets at that time. Just so you know, I just want to go over briefly a treasurer's responsibilities. And basically, you are the primary contact person for all of your organization's financial transactions. You have to make sure that all the transactions that you do meet the policies that are set forth in the Student Government Handbook. And because you have to know all of these policies, you also are like the educator of the rest of your club of what will be fine, you know, what will be paid for and what won't be paid for. So it's, or what kind of fundraisers you can do, whatever. So you kind of become like the point person of the policies and the procedures that you need to follow. One of the things that we kind of developed that's new this year, we're trying to put things online so that you have access for references and everything. One of the new things that we have is a financial worksheet that we've developed and we made available. It's on our website, which is esu.edu/SAA business. Again, you'll get this in the mail, in your email, so you'll be able to follow the link there. Under the forms section, we have these financial worksheets, and basically you can download it in either an Excel, Google Sheets, or if you want paper copies. But basically, it's a way for you to go ahead and track your club's account so that you always know what the balance is in your club account. Right now, since you're off campus, because of ESU firewalls, you do not have access to be able to go on our server and look at your account balances. So this is a good way for you to keep track of it. If you're unsure of what your account balances are, or you just want to check on them, you can always email or call us and we will give you those, you know, what your club account balance is. But we've developed those 3 sheets that you can keep track, or if you want to use your own accounting software. And what's kind of good about that as well is it develops a history so that hopefully you're going to hand this down from treasurer to treasurer to treasurer. And then that way the next treasurer will be able to look back and say, oh, well, this is what they did, because they'll be able to look back at your transactions. So that is available to you as a resource if you would like to do that. And we do encourage you to keep track of your accounts. It does look something like this. The one over here is it's the printed form. And here I put like, I filled one in as like a sample. So basically this running balance in this column, as you enter things over here, the running balance will automatically calculate it for you. So you don't have to use a calculator. You just enter anything you withdraw or anything that you add, and then it will automatically calculate it over there. Okay. Everybody has a club account. Not everybody has a budget account. I think just about everybody here, except for esports, and she's not with us right now, had a budget account. Again, the budgets are currently frozen. It is funded by student fees, and when you guys are not here on campus, we don't have student fees in order to fund your organizations. So until that changes, your budget will remain frozen. But everybody does have a club account, so you can still do things as a club, but you need to use your club account. Your club account consists of a letter with 2 numbers, that's your account number. And what I can do is either at the end of the presentation here, I can let you know what your club account number is, or if you prefer, when I send out the email with the PowerPoint presentation, I can include your individual club account number there as well. Your club account is funded through fundraisers, dues, donations, things like that. It's generally used for things that are not covered in your regular budget, or if there's things that your club want to do that's not funded, you can use your club account. Your funds stay with your club from year to year, whereas the budget, when you get budgeted funds, they go away at the end of the school year. If you haven't used it, you lose it, but with your club account, they do continue from year to year. So we'll talk about fundraising because that's one of the ways that you can add money to your club account. And I know it's hard right now with everybody being distant, but there are some fundraisers that you can do. Just know that just like if you were here on campus, you would have to register your fundraiser. Only since everybody is off campus, we have developed a electronic fundraising registration form, and you can find that on the front page of the Warrior Link. And when you go to the front page or the home page of the Warrior Link, when you scroll down on your right hand side, you'll see campus links. And under that campus links, you will see the fundraising registration form for student clubs. Just know that we do not have a small game of chance, so you cannot do things like raffles or lotteries or anything that is basically based on a chance, that they pay money for a chance. Budgeted funds can also not be used to fundraise. So just keep those in mind. And if you want to, you can refer to pages 15 and 16 of the Student Government Handbook for all of the policies that govern fundraisers. When you go to register your fundraiser online, you'll obviously need to know your organization's name and your club account number. The person that you're going to list on there is going to be the primary contact person. So if we have questions or anything like that, that is the person that we're going to contact. They're the ones basically being responsible for that particular fundraiser. And of course, you'll have to know the dates and a detailed description. And what we've done with the online form is we've broken it down like into categories. So we've broken it down into food. Examples of food fundraisers would be like Krispy Kreme or any type of like prepackaged food. Somebody is doing Gertrude Hawk right now, which they're just selling to like family and friends that are within their bubble. We don't want you to be gathering in any way. And so that's why, due to the COVID, that's why things have to be individually wrapped. And we're also prohibiting like bake sales, potlucks, spaghetti dinners, and things like that. The next category that we have is apparel. So if you want to sell t-shirts or sweatpants or something along those lines or something, you can do that. Just know that if it has ESU or Warriors on your shirt, or it has the logo or whatever on it, that you do have to go through an approved vendor. And on the PowerPoint here, you can see there is the link to the branding and licensing website for ESU, so you can look to see what vendors have been approved. They are alphabetical, the list is long, so if you need any ideas of who you can use, just let me know and I can point you out to a few that are used by a lot of the clubs, such as Custom Ink, NXX, Barnes and Nobles and things like that. Other items for sale would be like bracelets or the buttons, and then other, if it's not food, apparel, or an item for sale, if it's other, you would mark that and make sure you keep a detailed description. Others would be Panera Bread. There's a couple of clubs out there doing Panera Bread fundraisers. where it's a particular night and they get like 10% of the sales or whatever. Also, if you want to do like a virtual 5K, there's lots of different things out there. I know I did a quick Google of online fundraisers, and a whole bunch of them came up, contests and different things like that. You know, somebody can register for a contest and you can award prizes, you know, and things like that. So just keep that in mind. If you're a little bit unsure if your fundraiser is going to be okay, feel free to contact me and we can discuss it. If it is not okay, we can come up with alternatives or ways that you would be able to conduct that particular fundraiser. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far? Good. All right. The other fundraisers that you can do, or other ways that people do fundraisers, is a lot of times they do it for a particular organization. It might be for like a charity organization like the American Cancer Society, March of Dimes. These are all crowdfunding websites. So it's GoFundMe, which is probably the most widely known. If you decide to do a crowdfunding fundraiser, you need to make sure that you still register that fundraiser with us. Let us know what the website is, who the person is that's responsible, you know, who is administrating that particular fundraiser on that site. And just know that all the funds collected have to be deposited into your SAA Club account within 10 days. So if you do a GoFundMe for your club, make sure that those funds are deposited within, you know, to your club fundraiser. Also, keep in mind that if you are doing fundraisers and you are going to use our Venmo, which I'll get into that a little bit later, that all of that money gets sent directly to the SAA Venmo account, not necessarily your account or another officer's account, but you can use the SAA Venmo. And again, we'll cover that more in just a moment. If you do use something like, if you do a fundraiser for like American Cancer Society or the March of Dimes or something like that, we would also like to have you provide a printout of everyone who made the donation to that particular site. Okay. Any fundraising expenses you incur, they have to be paid out of your club account. So if you do collect cash, don't just give the cash to somebody who, you know, might have spent some money on supplies for something. Put that through your club account, because in that way it creates like a paper trail and a record. So you know exactly, okay, well, we raised this much money with this fundraiser. We had these expenses. And so we know how much we actually made on the fundraiser. Does that make sense? And then that way, the next treasurer, if you're keeping books, will be able to see that as well. And they can decide, was that fundraiser worth it or not? Okay. The other thing to know about crowd fundraising is that your club is responsible for any fees. Like if you use GoFundMe, I know that they charge you a percentage of whatever you collect. So your club is responsible for those fees. Also, your club assumes all of the risk. SAA will not assume any of those risks. We will also not provide you with a tax deduction form, a tax deductible form for that. And if you go to any local businesses and do solicitations, or you ask for money or gift cards or things like that, if it's local within the ESU area, we do ask that you check in with the foundation to make sure that you're not going to go to a business that may be making a large donation and we have 5 clubs going to them and asking them for money at the same time. We don't want to overtax some of our local businesses, okay? Any violation of the policies, you could result in having your club account frozen, all right? Whoops, down. Now, as far as depositing money into your account, since the building is closed, you can't walk in here and deposit the money. So there's really only 2 ways that money can be deposited. That is either if somebody writes you a check, or let's say you do a Panera Bread fundraiser, they would do a check. You can have them do a check directly to SAA, and that check would be made payable to ESU SAA. And put your club name down here in the memo section so that we know which club to credit. Also, if your fundraiser is registered, we'll also know that if a check comes in for something, we'll know that you had that particular fundraiser, and we'll, you know that you're the one that needs to get credit for it. Also, I don't know how many of you have actually written a check. If you have a question, just let me know. Unmute yourself and just say, wait. I don't know how many of you have ever actually dealt with a check before, but you also want to make sure that your check is signed and that whatever dollar amount is written in this part here is the same as where they write it out in, in words, because the bank goes by what's written out here in the words. So that's the amount that we have to go by. If you do collect any checks, you can mail them. This is our mailing address at the 200 Prospect Street, University Center, room 223, Stroudsburg. And we will get them and make sure it gets credited to your account. And the other way that we're really excited to introduce is our Venmo, because we've never had Venmo before. So we're really excited to be able to offer this to you as an alternative way of depositing money to your account. I think our QR code is on our website. It's also on here, so you can use that. There's our Venmo account. All deposits should include your club name, the club account number, and what it's for. So if it's dues for NCNW, you'll want to put NCNW C99, whatever your account number is, dues, okay? So that we know who to credit when we do those. The business office basically deposits Venmo deposits once a week. So we'll collect them for an entire week and then we'll go ahead and we'll deposit them into your accounts. So does anybody have any questions so far? Because now we're going to talk about taking money out of your account.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if we're collecting money, like say we would do a shirt sale, would the like members of the club Venmo me and then I would Venmo, they have to Venmo you directly, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Think of Venmo as like an outside account also, and clubs and organizations are not allowed to have an outside account. I did have one club at one time ask me if they could create their own Venmo account, and the answer to that is no, because like I said, that is considered an outside account. Basically, you hold money within Venmo, so it is an outside account. So just have them send it directly to SAA. Okay, thank you. Payment voucher. Anytime you want to take money out of your account, you want to do it using a payment voucher. Payment vouchers are for all of your expenses, and it's used for both the budget accounts and your club accounts. The payment voucher form can be found on our website. It's under the forms section, and again, you'll get that when you get the PowerPoint presentation as well, esu.edu/SAA business under the forms section. And you'll need to fill that out, and you also have to have documentation to go with it. Guidelines are, if you were to come in here, we would have them available to you right at the window, in which they need to be filled out in pen. And what happens is that an officer needs to sign it, your advisor needs to sign it, an SAA representative signs it, and we have the voucher with the documentation before we will go ahead and process a reimbursement or a payment. I'm going to go through just very briefly how to fill out a voucher. These are fillable forms. So if you go to our website, you can find the form, and it's pretty easy to fill out. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to put your account number up here. The line number is like an expense code that we use. Like 67 is supplies and things like that. If you don't know what the expense code is, don't stress over it. Just send it to me with just your account number on it, and I will fill in the expense line number for you, okay? When you enter the amount here in this amount section on the fillable form, it will automatically total it to this total payment section. So it makes it kind of easy for you. If you're doing a fundraiser and let's say somebody bought supplies and did some printing, had some printing done for you, you can put it all on one voucher. You don't have to have a separate voucher for each receipt or reimbursement. If it's to one person, you can go ahead and put everything on one voucher. And I'm just gonna, these are just very briefly, these are the most commonly used expense codes that we use. So you'll probably have you might have dues or fees for memberships. If you're going to be doing a fundraiser, you have fundraising expenses, supplies, printing, those are the most common ones. Once you get into your budget, you'll probably have more professional conferences and things like that. Now, what you'll do next after you fill in this part is you have to make sure that you mark the payment method. So if it's going to be mailed, make sure you include the mailing address down in this description area. Obviously, you will not be coming in to pick it up because our building is closed right now. A transfer would be a transfer to, like, if you had something done by the graphic center and you needed to pay the graphic center, then that would be a transfer to the graphic center. And then we also have the Venmo. Venmo payments cannot exceed $50. So it's for $50 or less that we'll reimburse through Venmo. You want to make sure you put your club account's name here and then whoever we're paying. So if whatever you put here for the payee's name, that is the name that we're going to write on the check. If we're reimbursing somebody or paying somebody through Venmo, you'll also want to make sure that you have their Venmo name account number down here as well. Okay. Down in the description area, you want to give a detailed description of the expense, include the address if it's going to be mailed. And so what will happen is you're going to submit this to us, and we're going to send this out through Adobe Sign to get the signatures electronically. So right now, you don't need to fill anything out over in this section over here. You just leave this whole section with the signatures blank, okay? If you are a club sports, such as esports, you will need to also get Stephen Lineham's signature. And if you're a multicultural organization like NCNW, you will have to get Laisha Fleming's signature. And that works really well because that's all going to get done automatically through the Adobe Sign. So I'm just going to briefly go through what we're looking for in receipts. Make sure that it has the name of the company that you made the purchase from. We want to see what you purchased, so it needs to be itemized. The method of payment, we want to see how you paid for it. Did you pay cash? Did you use your credit card? How did you pay for it? So you need to make sure that you have all this information on the receipt, all right? If it's just a receipt saying that you paid this amount, I need something more. I need to have more information. So just make sure that you have all of this on your receipt. If they give you a receipt that's missing any of this, you should ask them to write something out for you, okay? If you go online, of course, Amazon is not going to, have an address on here. It does say Amazon at the top, but we're going to be looking down here to see the payment method, to make sure, see if you paid with your Visa, and who made the payment, because that's the person that we're going to reimburse, okay? And if you also get an invoice or a bill from someone, you do not have to pay that out of your pocket. If it's an invoice or a bill, like this one is from BSN Sports, we can go ahead and pay them directly, okay? You just need to make sure that they have their name and their address up here. Again, an itemized what you purchased. And down here, we need to see what the balance due is. And then when we process everything, we will mail a check directly to that company for you, so that you don't have to put it on your credit card or pay for it out of your pocket if they provide you with an invoice or a bill. Okay, any questions on anything? All good? Okay, so now once you have your fillable voucher, you're going to fill out that voucher and you're going to save it to your computer. And then what you're going to do is you're going to email the completed voucher and whatever receipt you have to me. I need to have this by 8 a.m. on Monday because it's going to have to go out for signatures. So once I have it, it actually goes through a review process, and then I will send it out through Adobe Sign. So after Monday, I will send it out. It will go back to whomever sent it to me, which it should be you because you're the treasurer. So what will happen is I will scan everything. I will print off what you send me. I'll scan it in again. I will send it back to you for your signature. So once you send me something, start looking in your email for an Adobe Sign email, because then you'll electronically sign this. It will then automatically be sent to your advisor through Adobe Sign again. If it's somebody who needs Stephen's or Laisha's signature, it would automatically get sent to them. And then it finally comes back to SAA. So if you If there's any delay in anybody signing, it will delay the payment, all right? If you sign something and your advisor says, I haven't gotten it yet, have them check their spam or their junk mail, because every once in a blue moon, the Adobe sign will go to the spam or the junk mail, okay? Once everything is signed, as long as I have it back by Tuesday, then we can go ahead and process payments. We only process payments on Wednesday. Because what happens is when I get this, I review it. And then it gets scanned through, and when it gets to the SAA representative for signature, they're going to review everything again. As it gets entered into our accounting system, it gets reviewed a third time, and then the person who's actually signing the checks reviews everything again a fourth time. So it goes through quite a few different hands before we actually do the payments. So that's why we need to have it by 8 o'clock on Monday, okay? And then now payment, the way we do payment is either through a check. Now, if you're having us mail a check, due to our limited staffing right now, we're only doing checks once a week on Wednesdays. We don't have that many checks that we need to do because the budgets are frozen and everything, so we don't have quite as much work to do. So we are only doing checks once a week. So if we do checks on Wednesday, they'll be put into the mail on Thursday. So people should get them depending upon how quickly the post office delivers. If you are requesting to be reimbursed via Venmo, those are being processed weekly as well. I do try to get them out on Wednesday, and if I can't get them done on Wednesday, then I get the payments done on Thursday. Okay. Again, you can find us online at esu.edu/SAA business. Just so you know, underneath the form section is where you'll find the payment voucher. You'll find those financial worksheets. There are other forms under there that we're not using right now because it's for club travel and you're not allowed to travel as a club right now, okay? Under club finances, you will find some general information, and I'm probably eventually going to post this PowerPoint presentation to this particular area. It has general information about budgets, club t-shirts, and we want to use this as, that's why I'm recording this, so we can use this as a reference going forward. Under sales and sign up section, just so you know, how many of you know that we sell discounted movie tickets? Anybody know that we sell discounted movie tickets? Okay, good. We also sell stamps here and envelopes. And when the campus activity board or outings or somebody like that has things, you can sometimes find that under our sales and our signups. All right. Also on Warrior Link is another way to get to us. Under the voucher Venmo finance area, that will also take you to our website. And the fundraising registration form is also on that homepage of Warrior Link. So that's two ways that you can get to us if you memorize our website, or you can go to Warrior Link and you can always find it there. All right. And these are the people in our business office. Doreen McCord is actually out right now, but I'm here, and Jan Dalton, our Director of Business Services, is here. So if you have any questions about anything, feel free to contact us either via phone, email. We're always available to help you with whatever you need. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to give us a call. So that's my spiel. So do you have any questions? No? Okay, let me stop sharing here.